Alrighty. So today I'm going to go over follow-ups and how like important it is to make sure you're following up with the people you are reaching out to. And one thing that follow-up is absolutely necessary in this business. It's not something that you can just put on the side and not do. And the reason is because you're already putting so much work into messaging people and you already know like what they're interested in. So when you follow up with them, don't think that you're being rude or don't let that be, be scared to do that because they already told you like what they're interested in. So it usually takes 7 to 21 times to follow up with a person. Um, so when you follow up that one time and they say, we always get the normal like, oh, I didn't get paid or I have to do it next week. And then you just want to keep on top of that with your following up because you never know the third time that you don't follow up with them, they will probably order with somebody else that did reach out to them. And that was a better time for them to order. Um, Also, when you I got mistaken here. Okay, so when you're following up with these people and you know like what they're interested in, you can keep it in an organized notebook so that when there's a special deal going on, you already have like categories. So you know these people are interested in hair, skin, nails, and then there's a hair, skin, and nail BOGO or something. Like with the defining gel, the wraps. That way you have your follow-ups all organized and it's just easier to send like through the Connect app that we have now. I don't know if we went through that yet or not. We didn't. Okay. Um,
Oh, wait, no, we did that last week, but you can reiterate again just if you want.
okay. Because there you have like you can mass message and have templates set out that you can send to those PLCs. Um, Also, oh, when you're following up, you want to create urgency. So you can say like, "Hey Sherry, I have one spot left for my 40% off code. Do you want in on the hair, skin, and nails?" By saying like one spot's like, "Oh my gosh, all your spots are taken. You only have one code left." So they're most likely, going to want to hop on the deal. Um, I know a lot of times when we follow up, people don't respond. And so one thing that I have been using is saying like, "Hey girl, did I catch you at a wrong time last time I texted you?" And a lot of times they'll respond and say, "Oh yes, I was busy in the middle doing this or doing that," and then that's when you can carry on conversation. And that's how I was able to enroll 2 customers after sending that message out. Um, but you wanna, if you have, sorry, I'm going all over, but I wanted to talk about iMessage and mass like sending out messages through iMessage. I did that last week and I was blocked through Apple because I sent out over 100 messages of like the same messages, and so it was reported like as spam, and I wasn't able to use my iMessage. But just being careful with changing the wordings to adding in their name, adding different emojis and stuff, and that way you won't get blocked like I did. But it's all better now. Let's see. Oh, I do have a script when you follow up like with a potential distributor. You can say like, "Hey, I got 2 spots left to make an extra $500 a month. Are you in?" Um, or you can also make it personal and say like, "Hey girl, I know you were needing to make an extra income and you have 3 little girls. Let's get you started." And you just want to throw in those personal things to get them thinking about why they should join you in this business and that they know that you cared about the conversation you had with them. So they're not just another person you're contacting. Um, and I think that's it for what I have. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else, Tara.
I was just wondering if what you added was great. When I start, could you just pop a couple of your scripts in the chat so people can have different options? I really love the one where you said, "Did I catch you at a bad time last week?" Just so people can copy that and put that in to one of their follow-up notes.
But of course, change it up, because if Apple sees that, if you have Apple, they're gonna
So that would be a great one to put their name in. And I haven't tried this yet, but I wonder if using the Connect app, if you could put your own script in there and still put the at name, if it would insert their name into it like the other ones.
Yeah, I'll have to mess around with that and see.
Or maybe if you copy the at name inside one of those messages already, so maybe it would copy the configuration and coding with it. That might work, but like you said, using their name in the text helps maybe to not seem spammy because you are using their name. Oh, Jenny, you sent that to me.
Oh yeah, because I couldn't like pull up the whole text message, so I just sent it to you so I can read it.
Okay, perfect, no problem. All right. Thank you again for doing that. So what we are going to go over first is this new app that I found. I know some people weren't able to use some of the apps because they didn't have iPhone. This is one that no matter what phone you have, you can download it. So it's like across the board great. It's called Lightroom. I talked about it in the chat today, and I wanted you guys to go ahead and download it. But I'm going to show you why it's so awesome. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Share it. All right, you guys see what I'm seeing? Etsy, right? What the heck am I doing on Etsy? In the app Lightroom, you can buy presets from photographers and bloggers and people who know what the heck they're doing with creating a pretty page, and you buy it from them for $4.70, and they send you the preset so that your page will look exactly like the one that you're choosing to purchase. Hello. How amazing is that? You know, sometimes you get in this thing and you're like, oh, my picture kind of looks good with this filter on it, and then you do a couple of other pictures, like, oh, it looks good with this one, but then your page is all over the place and you're like, it has no rhythm and I don't know why I don't like it. This is it. So this is what you guys do. You download the Lightroom app, and then you go to Etsy and you just scroll through and take a look. There's literally hundreds of these. So like for me, a lot of my pictures have blue and green in them. So I chose a preset that had a lot of blue and green in it. And I wanted it to still kind of stay true to how I've been doing it. But if you like oranges or something more light, like here's one, for instance, this one, cream. It shows you how the pictures look before and after the app. Isn't that fun? It's like so easy. And look at the price, $4.70. It's like best $4.70 you ever paid because it's just so easy. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing because you get the idea. You will have a lot of fun going on Etsy tonight and looking at all these presets. Now I'm going to show you how to download it because sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. This is what I have noticed happen. It happened to me and it happened to Jenny when we were downloading our presets. The link wasn't working properly, so all we had to do is contact the seller and ask them to email us the link instead, and it opened like a charm. And all you do is you open up the Lightroom app, and then there's these 3 buttons at the top right hand corner. You're gonna click those 3 buttons, and then it's going to say add photo from camera roll. And when you download the file from Etsy when they give you that. It's like a DGN, something like that file. It's going to come up as a picture on your phone. And then when you open it up in the app, it's going to look like there's nothing on the picture. Before it said Lightroom, whatever filter that you used. But when you go to open it up in here, it's going to be blank. And what happens is when you open it, it automatically codes the preset and adds it into your app, and it changes all the filters onto it. And you just say, create preset, you give it a name, and you save it. And then you can upload all your pictures through there. And this is what it ends up looking like. So the preset I chose, it all has like these blue and green hues to it. And I've already added edited all these pictures so that I can upload them to my Instagram and they're ready to go. So it makes your life so much easier having a professional that knows what look good, make something for you, and it's done. So if you guys have trouble with it, which I'm sure that you will, you're gonna be like, Tara, what the heck am I doing wrong? And I'm like, let's do this. Like, it takes a second and you're like, oh, that was easy. So don't worry about it. Just tonight when we get off the Zoom, go ahead and head on Etsy, download it. And if you need help, like getting it set up on your app, shoot me a message and I would be more than happy to walk you through it. Hold on one second. Okay, never mind. All right, so we went over that, and right now we have these $20 codes and people are sending distributors, and I'm sure a lot of us are getting like excuses from people and you don't know how to respond to them. So I have some things in here that I was going to, Jenny, can I text this to you? And then you can upload it into the chat. Okay. But these are some of the things that we hear all the time. Like this one, I can't afford the cost to start. Well, $20 right now, they can. And for those of you who have got your conference tickets and you have those $20 promo codes, I just want you to know that you have such a huge leg up, because it's not company wide. It's not something that normally you say, I've got these codes and you can join me. No, this is legit. Like, other people who have been wanting to possibly join and that didn't have that $99, and then you give them the opportunity for $20, they're going to join you over someone with a $99 spot. And it's not because they maybe like the other person less. It's because people genuinely don't have $99 and you're offering them a golden ticket for $20. So make sure that you're reaching out to people. You never know who this business can impact. Okay, so someone says that I can't afford the cost to start, but I'm not good at sales. What if I don't sell anything? I don't think I can do this. I'm worried I'll fail. I don't know many people. I'm from a small town. I don't have time. I did another company and that didn't work. I did It Works before, and all these other things that people just say. And it mostly comes from a place of fear. The biggest thing that you can do when you're responding to anyone, no matter what their holdup might be, is to just acknowledge their fear. When someone says to me, I can't afford $99 to join, I'm like, girl, I totally get it. I'm right there with you. When I joined, I had to put it on a credit card, and we had just bought our house and we did not have the money, but I needed this so bad and I believed in myself enough that I jumped on it. And within a year and a half, I was able to retire my husband. So like you take hold, you say, yes, I understand, but then you change it and you move it to something positive. That's how it's always going to be. Like when someone says, I don't have sales experience. Yes, I understand. I didn't either. I've never done anything like this. In fact, I thought all companies like this were a scam. I was the last person on earth that was going to do something like this, but here I am killing it. So like things like that. And you just have to like make them put positivity in their mind. Like, what's your favorite mascara? What's your favorite lipstick? They talk about it. You're like, well, why is it your favorite? Oh, because it does X, Y, Z. I'm like, that's exactly how we run our business. We're not selling, we're sharing, and we share the things that we love. And we love being healthy, and our products are some of the best on the market, and we feel confident about it. So like turning around, they're like, oh, I get it. But Jenny shared in the chat this whole thing of overcoming objections. Copy it, save it to your notes. So if you're just ever in your pinch and you're like, I don't know what to say, just go and be like, oh, I have this whole thing, and you can just literally copy it and send it. It's so easy. But I really don't ever use these, but it's really good for like those who are like really nervous about knowing what to say. I always send video messages to people. I do not care what I look like. I can be woke up, face busted as I know. I'm like, ignore me. Good morning. I hope you're doing great. And I send a video message. I don't care, because I'm showing them, look at me. I'm in my home. I'm cooking breakfast. I'm talking to you, and I'm making money from my phone. So even though I'm not saying it, it's subliminal. Okay. So don't be afraid to put your face out there and talk to people. People want to know that you're real. And they want to feel comfortable with you, and they're going to feel so much more comfortable talking to a face versus a text. So take it little by little. You don't have to jump right into it. I've been doing this for 4 years, so I'm not as nervous about it, doing that kind of thing anymore, but I was before. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to talk about today is the 222 rule that Cami always talks about. If you haven't heard about it, it is when you're signing up a customer and you follow up 2 days after you enroll them to let them know that their order is shipped, 2 weeks after they place their order to check and see if they've got their package in and how they're liking it, and then you text them again at 2 months. Or actually, now that this like new program thing is going on, I would text them like a week before their second month would go out, and make sure that they were liking their order. If not, see about getting them something else and let them know about their $10 that they're going to get for placing that second order. So it's all about good customer service. So today with the customers that I enrolled, all I did was I told Siri to remind me in 2 days to send them a text. And then I made another one right there, said remind me in 2 weeks to send them a text. And I already did one for 5 days before their next auto ship is supposed to run. So I don't have to think about it. My phone is going to tell me. I don't always have like a pad and paper with me, but I always have this with me. And then like my notifications pop up in the morning and I can just shoot them a text. So that's going to make your life so much easier with being good at your customer service and keeping that retention. Okay, another rule is, let me see, I'm going to read what you said, Andrea. I think people can read it better if they see. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like if you're saying to someone you're bumbling over your words, they're like, you don't have to be perfect at this to still do the job. And that's exactly right. Another rule that is good for you guys to remember is the 5-5-5-5 rule, or just the 5 rule. It's contacting 5 potential distributors, 5 potential loyal customers, 5 distributors, and 5 loyal customers a day. Some of you might not have that, and that's perfectly fine. You do how many is like within a good amount for you to keep up with people. So you could just put them on rotation. It's really good for keeping up with your team. If you have like, I'm going to contact these 5 distributors on Monday, these 5 on Tuesday, and just you have it written down in your calendar. So it's like, it's the same thing every week. It's going to make it easier for you to be in the rhythm of talking to your team, keeping up with your customers, and following up with people. So some of you are still fairly new and you're like, well, I've only got 5 potential loyal customers. So maybe you won't have to follow up with them every day. So you get how you like have to change it to your circumstances. But that's a good rule of thumb, the 5 rule for following up. Okay. So this was not a part of the training tonight, and we still have a few minutes left before its 30 minutes is up. But Andrea, you wanted to know how to make the promo stories on Instagram. Okay, so I'm going to mute this and mute my phone and see if I can connect without it doing some weird frequency sounds. I'm really nervous about it, and then I can try and share my screen with you on my phone to show you how to create stories. Cool? All right, so mute me. All right. Dang it. Is it frequency on there? Can you hear me now? Okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you. Dang it. Obviously, I've never done it on my phone before. It's like, go to your settings and control center and customize your controls. Dang it. I think I've tried doing this before. Give me a second, guys. Customize controls, screen recording. It's dumb, it's on there. How do I do this? Screen recording, add it on there. Control, is it working now? Swipe up in the bottom of the screen. Okay. Let's see if I got this. Is this working? Dang it! See, I'm learning too, guys. Oh, I see. Stop recording. I see what it's talking about. Zoom. Look, I learned something. Look at that. I did it. Okay. So when you are creating a story, these are the apps that I generally use. I will use my word swag in the top left-hand corner, and I will use Unfold in the bottom middle. So I'll show you some of the ones that I've already made and how to go about it. So I have like one for coffee, I have one for collagen, join opportunity, $20 deal. Like these are ones that are already made and I can use them anytime I want. Okay, so I will just create one. Let's do one for training. This is a free app. However, if you want to use like any of these bottom options, like the RP1, I think you have to pay like $4 for that. But the very first one is free. So if you don't care about that, then you've got a free app that still does some really cool stuff. So I'll just for the sake of doing it the free way, I will show you with this one. So all you do is you go into your camera roll and you pop in a picture like good old Cheyenne. And you can pop in another one. I'll show the cutest picture in the entire world. Okay, that one. And you, obviously this looks terrible, so don't make it look like this, but you get the idea. You can pop things in there and then hit the little star in the right-hand corner and you can add a text to it.
however you want to do that. And you can edit the text, make it bigger, make it wider, change the fonts. So everyone, like, this is like how that cursive writing is looking on everyone's stories and whatnot. Pretty easy. And then if you want to do another slide, you just press the plus sign and then create another tab. And I like the way that this format looks because it has like a bold title and then you can add like a description in the bottom. So you can just say Mocha Dream. And then here, go ahead and say like what it does. Something like that. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but just so you guys could see how it works. And I know this has nothing to do with coffee, but there's a picture. So that was what I used for defining gel. And then you can oh, go ahead.
That you can also change the color of the background.
Sure, I'll throw that too. Thank you so much for telling me that. Okay, so you would just hit the star again, and then in the bottom right-hand corner, so you can change it to pink, a grayish color, green, blue. So there's other options, and even with the text, you can do the same thing. Bolden it, make it pink, however you want. There's so many different ways to play with it. And then when it's all said and done, you can hit in the right-hand corner to download it, and you can just do the page or the entire story. So that's how you use this app, and that's how everyone's kind of making their stuff look a little bit more blogger style, even in the story. And it looks really nice. As far as word swag goes, I still use this all the time. I just used it today. I'll show you like my little process. So I will go to Pinterest, and like I used this one just a little bit ago. Go to Pinterest and do iPhone wallpaper. Find that one, and then hit the 3 dots on the left-hand corner. Download the image, so it's not like you have to screenshot it and like try to edit it. You just find a picture, go to Word Swag, upload your picture, and type in whatever you want. So if you know at the bottom, you can scroll over and do IG story, so it cuts it right for Instagram. Go to next, double tap it, type in what you want. And then this is how people make that pop-up looking thing. You know, when you hit the side and it like more things just pop up, next, 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 next. So you just hit save and it'll save the picture to look just like that. Go back, add another text. Like that. And if you play with the bottom, like there's all these different fonts, you can hit the dice at the bottom. It changes like different ways for it to look. You can change the color. You can change the image in the back and blur it out a little bit so it's not quite as apparent. This is a lot of like fun things that you can do with this too. And then to show you my camera roll, what it looks like when you're on Instagram and you upload them set screen by screen. So you would tap it and it would turn into that and then that. So obviously you're not going to put in hey there cutie, but you get the idea. There's so many fun options for creating your story. So don't be afraid to be creative. Don't be afraid to just try something different. I'm going to exit out of here now. My Zoom. Don't be afraid to try something different and just have fun with it, because you can't really mess it up. And then on Instagram, you can add like GIFs and stuff, or funny, just like little things to your stories. But that is kind of, in a nutshell, how to do it. Play around with it, have fun, get creative, go to other people's pages and get ideas from them too.
And it's always fun to put funny memes in your stories every now and then too. All right, so that's it. Does anyone have questions about anything? If you have questions, unmute yourself.
So when you're making the story, what I've noticed is that
Oh, wait,
like
hold on, you didn't unmute yourself.
I didn't. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Can you hear me? Hold on.
All right. Can anyone else hear Andrea?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, Dirk. I had muted my phone
Oh,
or my head.
okay. So when you're doing your stories, I know that you know how we have some of those pictures that have the it works information on it. Do y'all just crop that information out before you put it into Unfold?
You mean like a corporate approved before and after picture?
Right.
No, sometimes I leave it. It depends on the picture. A lot of people haven't been sharing their corporate approved before and after pictures. I don't know what happened with that. But I got some the other day and I did a story about it, and I had the It Works corporate approved banner around it.
Okay. Because I know I saw a lot of them. I've been getting them off of Pinterest, so I was just curious as to, you know, how everybody was getting those that information, like what they how old the person is, what they've done with the business and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you can do it either way. However you feel like you want to do it. It's not wrong either way.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
Okay, girl.
I'm ready to cook with gasoline.
All right, guys. Any more questions, or are we good to go? Good? All right. So do me a favor. When you get off of here and you go to Etsy and you find some presets, screenshot at least 3 of them and send them in the chat or to me directly so I can help you choose one, and that way I know that you're doing it and I can be there to assist you if you need like putting it to your app and everything, because it does take a little bit of tweaking to get it. But other than that, that is it. And I thank everyone for being on, and we finished at like 30 minutes again. So fast team training, and I appreciate everyone taking time from their evening and being on, and we will see you all next Wednesday. Have a good evening, guys.